Okay, so maybe I'll start with this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with I did a video recently. Well, I did a news story recently, which was about reform and where reform stands on LGBTQ plus rights. So I thought today I saw another article, and this was on Jeremy Corbyn's new party. Now I don't know what they're called. I mean I'm going with your party because I think like your party. I actually think that sounds okay. Actually, so but I believe they were saying they're going to choose a name. But I actually think your party sounds okay personally. Um, when it first came out, when I first heard about your party, okay, I mean, I was like, okay, I want to see what you've got to offer. Okay, this is a more left leaning party. That's what I'm aware of. You say you're an alternative to Labour, which I think with Keir Starmer being such a flip flopper, we need other options on the left. So I was interested in this. So anyway, I saw this article and I thought this will be interesting to look at because I really would like to know more. I got to know a bit more about reform last time. So this is it. This is what have they got? Where do your party leaders stand on LGBTQ plus rights amid growing rift? Now that's the thing. It's not just Jerry Corbyn. There's more than one leader here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the article. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then we're going to talk a little bit about it. So, what is it? What's going on with your party? Right. Well, let's see. So your party, a new left-wing project led by Zara Sultana and Jeremy Corbyn, supported by 4 other independent MPs. Okay, I'm not going to do great with these names, but I'm going to try my best. Ayoba Khan. I know that's not right, but all right, well, I'll try my best anyway. Adnan Hussein, Akbal Mohammed, Shakat Adam. Okay, I will apologize now because I know I've said those names wrong. But anyway, I did my best. Okay, so what? So the party launched in July with huge enthusiasm. 800,000 people signed up when it was launched. It promised to be it was a grassroots social socialist alternative, but cracks have appeared, both organizational and around the LGBTQ plus rights. Right. The split. Corbyn and allies accuse Sultana of sending an unauthorized paid membership email. Sultana says she's been frozen out by a sexist boys' club. The internal battle overlaps with wider questions about the party's stance on LGBT plus rights, especially trans rights. Okay, so that's what we know. Now, the article it talks about the different leaders. So we can now get more of an understanding about each one of these leaders in the party who is actually what their actual opinions are on LGBTQ plus rights and trans rights. So let's see what they all say. Again, any names that I say, I've got to apologize before because I'm not great unless I've heard the names before. Okay, so where do the leaders stand? Zara Sultana, MP for Coventry South, 2019 to present. She's strongly pro LGBT plus. A vocal defender of trans rights. No space for transphobia. So that's a good start. I mean, you let me know in the comments if you disagree with anything that we're saying here, but so far that's good. So she's very supportive of trans people. Says party must be loud and proud about being pro-trans, anti-racist, pro-migrant. Right? Okay. Condemns Tories for blocking Scotland's gender reform bill. Opposes permanent. She opposes the permanent puberty blockers ban. says healthcare must include trans youth. She's getting a lot of thumbs up from me so far. Everything she's doing, all these points, I'm agreeing with. Publicly, trans rights and human rights. Oh, sorry. Publicly? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Publicly, trans rights are human rights. That's what she said. Your party will defend them. No ifs, no buts. Jeremy Corbyn. Okay, so that was her. So I would just say, just sum up what I've read about her. If that's all what she stands for, I agree with everything she said there. So if she was going, if that's what that party stands for, then they'd get my vote, because I would be saying, well, you just said everything that I agree with there. Now let's see what Jeremy Corbyn feels. Okay, Jeremy Corbyn. He's been an MP since 1983. Wow. Okay, so he's been MP for a while, hasn't he? Islington North. I just think that's quite a long time, but okay. But anyway, he's a long pro LGBTQ plus. Oh yeah, he has a long pro LGBTQ plus record. He backs. Let's see. He backs LGBTQ plus rights, doesn't he? Or backs equality, equal age of consent. Oh, he backed the equality's age of consent, same-sex marriage, trans self ID. This is good as well. I mean, all those things are good, aren't they? Conversion therapy. He doesn't agree with that. Okay, he doesn't want trans people being converted into not being trans, basically. Okay. He okay, in a recent statement, he said trans rights are human rights. There's no debate. Okay, good. Last thing though, but silence on current party riff has raised concern among. So silence on recent party rift is concerned among activists about how strongly he'll enforce pro-trans policies in practice. Right. So publicly, Jeremy Corbyn is saying that he's supportive of LGBTQ plus people, and he has said that he supports trans rights. But there is this worry because of this rift between um, Sultana. Okay. Now, we're going to look at the other men that are in this party, and it's important to look at them because so far, if you said to me, "Would you vote for this?" At the moment, I would say yes, because her record is absolutely amazing, and Jeremy Corbyn, everything he said is great for trans rights. I'm just talking about trans people and LGBT. There is other policies in a party, so I would have to look at their other policies as well. But on this side, they're definitely speaking right for trans people, so I do like that. So I'd be interested in. Okay, now I'm gonna not say these names right, but I need to talk about them. So Ayarba Khan. I should say Mr. Khan. Okay, so Mr. Khan, he's an MP for Birmingham, Perry Bar, 2024. Now, okay, vague stance. When asked about LGBTQ plus rights, said, my personal opinion as a Muslim is well known. You only have to look at what other Muslims believe, what's taught. Interpretation as socially conservative avoids direct support. So the problem with that with Mr. Khan is, I understand he is a Muslim, and he feels like he can't answer that question because I understand that it can be quite a conservative question in the Muslim faith, which is a problem because obviously it's one thing with your religion, but if you can't support trans and LGBTQ plus people, so he isn't actually saying he supports. Like he said, in my opinion, as a Muslim, is well known. You only have to look at what other Muslims. So he's kind of saying that basically other Muslims probably wouldn't support it. So um, I think in one way he's actually saying he probably wouldn't support, which is a bit sad to hear that. But unfortunately, it doesn't sound like he would be very supportive on that. So that is a bit of a problem there. Okay, let me have a look at the next person involved. I think we've got another. Do you know something? I think we've had another supporter here, but it hasn't come up on the main page. I better check what's going on with that. But I'll come back to you in a minute, guys, about that. Okay, so the next person we're going to look at is And okay, and okay, Mr. Hussain. Okay, MP for Blackborough, 2024. He says publicly said trans women are not biological women. Oh. Opposes neoliberal gender ideology. Supports safe third space rather than full inclusion. So conclusion, said he believes in equal human rights, but supports upholding Supreme Court ruling as sex-based rights. So Mr. Hussain also, he does not actually support trans rights. So that's another man that doesn't support really. Next one, we've got Mr. Mohammed, MP for Dewsbury and Batley, 2024. No clear public stance on LGBTQ plus issues, identity. Silence adds to uncertainty. And then, oh yeah, so that's him. So here, that's another one. So Mr. Hamid doesn't really have any support. He never says a lot about LGBTQ plus rights. And then we have Mr. Adam, MP for Leicester South, 2024. He says he's got a mixed record. Supports LGBTQ plus inclusion, sex education, as long as parents are consulted. On same-sex marriage, would vote with his voters, his area constituency, rather than personal conviction. Says nobody should be discriminated against, but avoids firm commitment. So just before we move on, I would probably say that Corbyn and Sultana do support trans people, and I would say that's a good thing. But then I would say that probably Mr. Khan, Mr. Hussain, Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Adam, yeah, that's all of them, isn't it? They don't really support trans, and well, are very vague on what they support. So unfortunately, we have four men in this party that really do not really support, and that's a problem. So on the outset, I would feel, yeah, I mean, if you make policies, then I would expect those policies to go through. But it is a little bit worrying, to be honest with you. So I'm not sure where they stand. I'm not sure. Well, I am. I mean, I think Corbyn and Sultana do support, but I think the other men don't. And that, how can you vote for that? So I kind of agree. Like, I think, like Charles said here, one moment. You know, I feel the same way. Get my vote. Yeah, they do. Corbyn and Sultana, but I'm not sure about the rest of them. I don't know about those other men because they don't. They seem conflicted. I understand. They have religious belief, but it's like, okay, you have your religious belief, but you're also a politician. You're also representing not just people from religious backgrounds. You're also supporting people from all society. And when you do that, I think religion and you can have your religions, of course, but you also have to consider that there's people who are in your constituency and in the country that don't have the same religious views. And it's about being able to have your religious views, but also be able to separate that for the good of the society. We all believe different things. We have Christian, we have Muslim, we have Jewish people. And it's being able to, even if you have a religion, to have a respect for other people's beliefs. And the reality is, I have respect for everybody's belief, regardless of what you believe. But I think at the same time, you must also have that understanding of different sexuality, different identities, and we should all be able to. And that's how a society works, because we're never going to agree on the same things. We're never going to think the same way. But it's about if you want to take public office, if you want to be a politician, you want to be a leader, I think you have to, whatever you have at the door, you need to take that away and think what's the best for society as a whole. And it's like, if you don't do that, then that's why would anyone vote for your party if they don't offer that? Anyway, why does this matter? Okay. For politics, the party could have been could have been an alternative for the left to like Labour and stuff like that. But that division on LGBTQ plus rights threatens credibility. Yes. So what about for LGBTQ plus people? Okay, what does that mean? Well, Sultana and Corbyn. Let me put this on. Let me put me on a big screen. Put me on a big screen. I've been too small there. Okay, so LGBT. While Sultana and Corbyn are do support LGBTQ plus rights, other MPs hold socialist, conservative, and exclusionist views. The weakness the party, so it weakens the party, and there's no, and like Sultana said, there's no space for transphobia. So the promise was that there was going to be no space, but we have four men that actually don't seem to be very supportive of trans people. Culturally, the clash reflects wider UK tension. Can the left unite religious conservatives MPs with pro LGBTQ plus activists? That is the problem. For daily life, trans people risk being caught in the middle. Promises of solidarity on one side and then resistance to full inclusion on the other. Okay, like I said, what else can we say? So let's look at that internationally. What can we see internationally? So if we look at other countries, we've got, because I always think we should really look outside the cultural bubble here in the UK. And what we've got is a broad church versus clear lines. Left-wing parties across Europe, example Germany, Die Linke, I think that's what that party is called. Spain's Podemos, I don't know if it's pronounced that way, generally support LGBTQ plus rights without hesitation. But they also face tension with social conservative migrant constituencies. Yes. Okay. So I think we know where this is going, really. Religious conservatives. Similar crashes occur in Canada and the US, where progressive parties sometimes struggle to reconcile pro-LGBTQ plus platforms with faith-based MPs or voters. Right. Global trends where parties waver on stay silent on LGBTQ plus rights, others become bargaining chips, seen in parts of Eastern Europe, where leaders take clear pro-LGBTQ plus stances, example in New Zealand and Ireland, rights are more firmly secure. UK risks if your party can't resolve its internal contradictions, it risks repeating Labour's problems, trying to please everyone and ending up pleasing no one, especially on trans rights. There you go. So I think I've made myself clear on that. What it looks like is, and it's very simple. We've got on the left, we have one side where we have the LGBTQ plus rights, but then we have religious conservatives, and it's breaking away from their religious beliefs to align with transgender people and gay people, LGBTQ plus people, and it's that problem. And if they aren't strong on it, then just like Labour, you can't please everyone. You make a decision who you if you want to support religious beliefs, then that's your party. You have a religious party, and that's what you do. But if you want to support LGBTQ plus rights, you need a party that is focused on LGBTQ plus rights. Of course, you need to focus on other things, or you'll never get the vote. Can't just do LGBTQ plus. But that's the thing, and that's the problem with your party. Your party has this confliction here. The leaders are saying one thing, but other people in the party are saying other. So I don't know where they stand. I don't know. They're flip flopping. It's not a good start either. So it's a shame. Maybe Sultana and Corbyn need to another party.